Diversification leads to sanity and profit. I remember when I first started, I would listen to people who would tell me about certain stocks. They would give me ideas and say, listen, this is the one. I know it's going to go up. I know it's going to do this. And sometimes they were right. And it felt so good because if I put in $2,000 and all of a sudden I see $5,000, it's great. It's great. It could happen if you do it right, But what happens if it doesn't go your way? And all your money's in one stock or two. The stress level is crazy. And even if it does go up or down, you're always worried about it. Diversification gives you that moment of sanity and relaxation. And it took me a while to learn that. Well, never again. Because what I noticed when I started diversifying, putting it in different areas, it's okay if one does not work because you're never stuck with one. You're never stuck with one. Not one specific stock is going to affect your whole bank account. So you diversify. So you found that one stock that is going to have you profit majorly, right? It happens. You have 20K in your account and you're feeling great about it. You decide to invest 80% of your account and put in 20K. You did your homework and you're pretty sure this is going to be a good situation. You were smart and made sure to cover your trading rules and everything. After investing in the company, you immediately saw a result. This is great. You're up $800 in one day. That's amazing. This is awesome. You can't wait to see what will happen in a week. Unfortunately, the investment took a dip, and now you're down $3,000. Now you're back to the emotional roller coaster even though you prepared yourself this time. Think about that. You were prepared. You did your homework, everything. But now, when everything's in one stock, very hard not to get emotional because everything's in one basket. The 10% never trade just one specific company or even a specific industry. No matter how much you prepare, you can't expect to call it right every time. Doesn't happen. No one does it. It's never been. I always believe that, when I learn this, I'll never make mistakes. Taking losses is part of the business. The question is, how do you minimize the losses? The 10% understand that. They're not going to get it right every time. Diversification is going to help. Being all in one investment handicaps you to being perfect. You may win a few, but it only takes one big mistake. One big one. Diversify your trading. This will enable you to stay calm, knowing that not one specific trade will kill your account. If you feel like the technology sector will do great, that's fine. But don't think you will be correct every time. Protect yourself with other investments. I think we made our point. Get involved in multiple things. When you use your strategies, don't fall in love with one sector of a business. Do some technology, check out financial, check out different ones. And as you go through the process and you learn how to see these things specifically. How do you find a certain stock? These things will help you. But always look at different ones. Psychological reason number 4. Losing is part of winning. We all have a vision of what a superstar trader looks like. They have a lot of confidence and almost never lose an investment. They always seem to know where to invest to make money. Many of us believe this to be true and we aspire to be just like them. Many try to come up with the best trading rules and try to copy them perfectly. But no matter how perfect they follow the formula, they still suffer losses. And when that happens, the frustration builds hard. You tried the strategies that were given and still having losses? How? It's actually very simple. The 10% understand that nobody gets it right every time. They manage their losing positions just like the winning ones. No different. Part of the trading plan includes managing both losses and profits. When we talk about managing profits, if you're up in a trade, it's important not to get too emotional. I know I made that mistake when I was a rookie myself for a while. Because when you're up at a certain amount of money, you think it's going to keep going. So that emotional excitement gets you going and say, wow, I just went up 50%. This is amazing. Let's see if I could get it to 80. You're playing emotional. Managing profits is very, very important, how you do it. Or managing losses. Everybody makes bad calls, even the superstars. It's all about how you manage it. Now, when we talk about managing profits, let's look at this chart for a second. This is a company, BJ's Wholesale. When we look at this is a great gain. So the stock went up. But even when you're gaining, you have to manage your profits. It's very easy to get excited here. You want to make sure that you get out of it in the right time and not chase. Or you can start losing gains. Or you can collect some of the gains into profit and continue going. But either way, you want to be strategic with gains. So this is a little bit of a technical part here, but when you're looking here and the stock's up, you may think it's going to keep going up based on your strategy. Who knows? If you do, maybe something you could do is take out the money you put in and collect profits and leave the other money in there that's going to work for you. How much more of a peace of mind you have when you took the money out that you invested originally and let the market work with the profits you already have. Great strategy if you understand it. When you look at managing losses, it's important to set up stop losses on your plays so you don't get emotional and start chasing. This requires discipline. So if a stock goes in a different direction, a lot of people use their ego. And what do I mean by using their ego? They think that this stock is going to reverse because they don't want to take the loss, so they continue chasing it. Boom, you just got emotional. You will encounter losses as well, like this, which is all part of the business. It's kind of how it works. Make sure you manage it. Very, very, very important. If you set up a stop loss, you could actually have it come out. So if you took $100, $200, $300 loss, that's okay because you're going to have other wins that are going to make up for it that are in the thousands. But don't chase. Don't fall into the game. If the loss was more than you anticipated, be logical about your decision. The reality is you only have to be right 60% of the time to be successful in the stock market. And 60% is a superstar number. As long as you got successful trading rules that you don't break. They include exit strategies to make sure you maximize your wins and minimize your losses. So you could see how important these things are, where a lot of people will put a strategy in place and never even think about a stop loss. We don't think that way. We think of those things reactively instead of proactively. The 10% don't do that. They set it up in a proactive fashion. Psychological secret number 5. The quickest way to success is to role model someone else who has already done it. This is probably the most important thing that I had to learn. I tried everything in the book to do it myself. I really did. I've watched videos, I've watched different things, I've done so many different aspects, I've read books. I looked into it, and the more I did, the more I got confused because everything is pulling into different directions to a point where you don't know what's real, what's not. And until I really got a coach, somebody who I know did very well in the market, someone who really went through the grind and told me about their mistakes. Unless someone did it, it's hard to share. That's when things changed. So if you get nothing out of this trading, but this will help you big. So the market has been around since the 1800s. And through the times, there were many losers. But at the same time, there were a lot of winners as well. You would think a couple centuries will definitely do that. As we discussed earlier, 80% of trading is based on human psychology. There have been many evolutions in the trading game. With computers, we have a lot more access to trade on our own as opposed to calling a broker every time we needed to make a trade. Just think about it. It used to be where you had to pay $50 a trade. Not everybody could do that. It was a very niche situation. Today, computers give us access, a lot more access. In addition, with smartphones, we are now more mobile with trading and can do it anywhere and anytime. I mean, think about it. From our pocket, you could take out, make a quick trade, and profit within seconds. I remember I used to be in a very high stress retail job where I used to manage a whole region. I had a lot going on. And I literally would be doing things, giving speeches, doing trainings, visiting locations. And I had set up stop losses from my phone. And I would see thousands of dollars going to my account in seconds. It's amazing what technology has brought us. Unbelievable. The one thing that has never changed is how people psychologically react to the market movement. Although it took many decades, if not even a century, to figure out that there's obviously patterns that continue to show up in the stocks. Unfortunately, most don't understand this. So they do what the 90% do. They look everywhere for information from the other 90% to put everything together into a plan that has never been proven. Guys, it's been over 2 centuries. If at some point people don't realize there's obvious patterns, and when you look at the picture here, you see things like resistance level, support level. These are some of the things that we could talk about in our technical part. They're keys to showing us that, hey, the market has certain elements that continuously repeat because people are creatures of habit and they're going to do certain things at certain times, not because by strategy, although some of it is, but because the way they react emotionally at certain times. The ones that could catch others react emotionally on a logical way win. The 10% literally will be able to pinpoint saying something's going to happen in this moment because that's what happens every single time. And that's really how you can predict certain moves on the market. So in result, they end up taking some serious lessons from the market and take many losses. It's a very painful and expensive way to learn, but majority do it on a daily basis. The 10% do it differently. The 10% believe that the mistakes by others create references for us to learn from so we can avoid making the same mistakes over and over again. And that's in anything in life. There's a lot of people who died from drugs. A lot. A lot of people died from different addictions. A lot of people got sick. But it is our decision. Do we want to try it ourselves and face that fear, face that issue, face that pain? Or do we want to learn from others and just proactively avoid it? The market is no different. People have made mistakes over the centuries. Our job is to pick up what they've already learned and go from there. So there are 3 ways you can approach this. 1, figure it out. Okay, I've tried this. You always think you're that smart one, that you'll get this. Well, the market is not as simple as you think, and it'll throw curveballs your way. This is obviously the perfect way to lose a lot of money. Doing this is the same as gambling. If you want to do it, go for it. However, it is a deadly approach, and it will end you at the 90%. So stay away. Another way is look everywhere for the information and try it out. Well, this can work, but requires a lot of experimenting and figuring out what works and what doesn't. The reason I'm so passionate about this 10%, to increase that 10% to a higher number, to get people out there, is to give people the right information. Give them the right way of doing things so they can avoid losing thousands and thousands of dollars like I did until I finally found it. Until I found the right mentor, until I found the right coach, until I found the right system, until I found the right trading plan. We don't want that to happen. Do you want to lose thousands of dollars to do that? Or do you want to do it the right way from the beginning? So try to avoid losing money. Or you could get a mentor with a trading plan. The 10% want to avoid the aggravation of figuring it out and go right to the answers. By far, the best decision of my life was to get the mentor I got. I did my research. I found this person has made money. They've made a lot of mistakes and they were real. Not somebody who just claims that they make a lot of money all the time. Somebody who's been through the grind. Somebody who's lost money. Someone who's learned the lessons and is out there, who has the right structure, who has the right content, and somebody who really taught me how to do it. Best decision of my life, saved me a lot of money after I lost a lot of money. And I'm very thankful for that. And I hope for you that you get that same experience. Get a right mentor. Get the right trading plan. In summary, be aware of the persuasion phenomenon. It's everywhere. We understand it. And because after this training, you're going to be very conscious when you see it. And you're going to avoid it. Invest based on inspiration, not desperation. It's all about investing the same amount of money that you're okay with, and you have the right strategy where you could have something called certainty. And you're inspired to do so. When desperation hits, you're in an emotional roller coaster. 3, diversification is key to sanity. Never invest in just one stock. That will kill your sanity for sure, and you will feel stress. The minute that stock goes down, be careful. You will feel the pain. Losing is part of winning. No one wins them all. It's how you manage it. And finally, the most important, mentorship is your fastest way to success. Other than that, guys, I really appreciate you going through this with me. I think you really at this point understand how important the mental game is. And I know you're going to avoid all these mistakes because you're better than that. Because at the end of the day, we're a lot more closer to that 10% than the 90%. And I appreciate everything from you guys. Thank you for sticking to it. And I'll see you in the next module.